Hey guys, SHM here, continuing with part 4 of the Get Better at Banjo Without Using Difficult Strats tutorial. We're going to be doing Clankers today, and Clankers is one of the more difficult levels that people don't realize is actually pretty difficult, because Clanker's Cavern is based on a bunch of cycles that you're trying to make. So right here at the beginning, when you see me enter, I'm going to be going a certain speed and taking a certain route, because that is going to set up where Gloop, the fish at the very bottom of Clanker's Cavern, is, and I'll know exactly when he's going to give me bubbles and release that kind of stuff and where he'll be. So if I mess up anything here at the beginning, then I won't know where Gloop is. So that's why you'll see me doing a very certain movement strategy here. Okay. So immediately I'm going to get into talent try, and I'm going to do 3 jumps to get over to this ladder. When I'm towards the top of the ladder, press A, roll, and rat-a-tat-rap on up to this pipe. Make your way around here. And you do have to be relatively fast with those jumps. So practice them, make sure you're comfortable jumping that fast, that you don't have to like turn the camera or anything. Because like I said, if I didn't go that fast, then I don't know where Gloop will be. Okay. By the way, whenever we're swimming, we want to be holding R, just like we are when we fly. That helps us turn a little easier. So you're going to go over this green pipe, and you're going to go straight down once you reach the chains. And you want to make sure that you don't get yourself caught on the chains. But you're going to go straight down to this green Jinja. And when you grab him, you're going to turn right and grab a note and go clockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, bubble, key, A, B, A, B. The key takes 3 rotations. After we finish raising Clanker, I'm gonna go counterclockwise for 2 notes, grab a bubble, and then grab the other 2 notes. So I'm gonna force myself down, 1 note, 2 note, bubble, come back over here for 21 and 22, and from this note, immediately just start holding down to force yourself straight up. And we should have enough air with those bubbles to stay underwater for this amount of time. So I want to go over here to this side of Clanker, because I'm going over here to the green tunnel to get the blue Jinja. Now if I did this cycle completely correct, I should be able to grab the blue Jinja, surface, and head over for tooth cycle. And it looks like I'm going to be a little bit behind because I got caught on the wall down there. But after you grab the blue Jinja, you're going to come over here and you're going to shoot your eggs at Clanker's tooth. It takes 3 eggs. Okay. Get in a talon shot. You're going to go counterclockwise until you hit 30. Jump down here. And we're going to come up and do rings. So for this first ring, you want to land on top of the ring and then jump off of it and get a flutter, because that'll take you through the rest of the rings faster. But if you miss it, it's not a big deal. It's like maybe a couple seconds. So jump on the ring, flutter over here to this other ring. Once you go through this ring, immediately dive down. If you're lucky with this one, you can also land on top of this ring, but it's a little bit trickier. If you do land on top of that ring, you can do another jump flutter towards this ring, save you some time. Jump through both of these rings, immediately dive, watch out for the whip crack, and swim through this ring. So grab these notes. Now, we're about to exit Clanker's left gill. And what this is going to do is, again, it's going to put us on another cycle. So I am going to try to get on top of Clanker and grab some notes before his blowhole bolt goes up in the air. Okay, so I have to be quick. I have to be quick and I have to be speedy to get up there. So I'm going to jump on top of the gill right here. Make sure you don't fall back in. I'm going to grab as many notes as I can before the bolt rises up. 1 note, 2 note, 3 note. Jump and rat-a-tat-rat to get up here. Now luckily when we grab this jiggy, it centers the camera for us. So we don't have to worry about angles. So I can literally hold down and I'll land where the other note is. Okay. Now I do a trick called bolt jump. You don't have to do it. It does save 8 seconds. But it's one of the ones that I do use in this route because it's not that hard of a trick once you practice. But I grab this note, jump here, come here, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to jump from this corner all the way over to that blue pipe that you see over there on the wall with the 4 notes on it. Okay? Now in order to do that, I have to kind of get some running speed, okay? And then I have to jump at the very tippy top of this corner. All the way over there, okay? So when I grab the jiggy, it kind of looks like this, so I get some momentum behind it. I go note, jump, running start, and at some point you'll want to flutter and pray to God that you get right on top of the pipe. Sometimes if you're right underneath the pipe, you can ground pound to give yourself a little extra height and make it. There you go. So it should look like that. Sometimes you might land directly beneath it, and you can ground pound on top of it. So let me see if I can. I want to try to do one where I save it with a ground pound just so that you see what it looks like, but I might not be able to accomplish that. Try to do it one more time here. Yeah, so I fell off the very bottom there. It's whatever. If you fall off the bottom, just come over here, shock spring, and go up and grab those 4 notes. You can just flutter over 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this is what you would do if you missed bolt jump. Okay, jump off, come over here, ground pound this for the Jinja. Go into Talon Try, jump all the way out, grab these 5 notes going down, and land. Now right here while you're on the edge, you're going to do a beak bust. Even though you're not on top of the grate, it'll get rid of the grate, okay? Now what this is called is the Honeycomb Backflip. So there's a honeycomb, an empty honeycomb in this little tunnel that we want to grab, but we also want to stay on top of this grate. We don't want to fall all the way through. So what I do, and this is different from what a lot of people do, because a lot of people do the bear punch into the flap flip method, where you press B and immediately flap flip. That can be a little tricky. What I do is I flick my control stick down and immediately go into a flap flip. And right there, I accidentally did my inputs a little quick, so I did a ground pound instead. But I'll show you what the honeycomb backflip looks like. This can kind of be tricky for newcomers just because the inputs are very tricky. But flick the control stick down and immediately flap flip. Just like that. Yeah. And the reason we want to get back up here is because we're going to talon trot jump all the way over to this pipe and do all this stuff. And then from here we jump. We're going to come up here and get 2 notes. You can use whatever camera angle helps you here. And then from here, you're going to do a big jump, flutter over, and we're going to enter Clanker's blowhole not in Talon Trot, because we're going to hold down, press Z, and slam onto the witch switch. Okay, now, I'm probably going to screw up the saw blade cycle because I paused late. But after you slam the witch switch, you want to go immediately into Talent Trot and start running down all these notes, okay? Now, if you do this quickly, you know, if you don't do any extra inputs and you go immediately into Talent Trot, what should happen is you get 3 notes, go left, 1 note, go right, and then the last note, go left. That's how you dodge the saw blade. So I'm going to see if that works for me. 1, 2, 3, go left. 1, go right. 1, go left. Yep, ended up working. So yeah, just me going left and right is just to dodge those saw blades. Don't fall in here in Talent Trot because you want to be able to press A immediately when you hit the fight pad. Wait till the camera centers on you, beak bomb, and press B in order to launch yourself into this room. So this is the other saw blade room. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna talk to Bottles. We're gonna learn gold feathers rather. Christ, can't talk. All right, now this one's a little bit harder. There's a ton more saw blades, and usually, you know, the game intends you to get all these in gold feathers. But if we stay along this seam, okay, if I walk along this line, you can kind of see it on the ground. It's like this line where the floor meets the side. Okay, if we stay on that line, the saw blades will never hit us. So I can walk all the way down without getting hit. Okay, so what we do is we combine that with just a quick left, right to grab the notes. So I'm gonna go right, grab a note, back to the seam, back to the seam, back to the seam, and then lo and behold, I'm down at the end of the tunnel. And then we can just follow that seam all the way back until you're out. Okay. Roll off. Oop. Don't miss the jiggy. And now we're going to make our way out of Clanker's right gill. Dive down for the pink Jinja to get the Jinja jiggy. Okay, and same thing when I exit here. I'm going to be jumping on top of the gill. Right here. And then make my way down Clanker's back, grabbing the jiggy and the notes. You can either jump or walk your way up the fin, whatever is more comfortable for you. Rat-a-tat-rat and immediately spam A in order to flutter inside. And then you're going to immediately fall off and you're going to swim into this deep green tunnel for the crabs. Alright, now what you want to do for crabs is the jiggy will spawn at the top of this pedestal, and you want to try to get to that pedestal before it spawns. So you're going to be killing 2 crabs with a ground pound, and then you're going to be killing the other 2 by pooping eggs. So I'm going to walk straight down in order to trigger them. I'm going to get them to fight, to run towards me. When they're both underneath me, I'll ground pound. We're going to go we're going to go clockwise around the room for 4 notes. Poop 2 eggs, walk, poop 2 eggs. Jump up here and grab the jiggy before it spawns. Sometimes the snippets will be nice and they'll be in their proper place. Sometimes they won't. So just practice it. And then from here, we're going to do a long swim to end the game. So we're going to pick up our last jiggy, the last honeycomb, and the 7 notes. Okay. So what I do is I hold A and jump. The tunnel will force you underneath the water. And immediately when you get to the end of the tunnel, you're going to hold left to go into the jiggy tunnel. So hold the right side here. Again, you want to cut your distance down. So just make sure you're going forward while not like hugging aside. Grab the jiggy You're going to turn around. Okay. A lot of people think like swimming through this backwards is hard, but it's really not. You just follow the open space. When you reach the end of the tunnel, you're going to hold up on the control stick to force Banjo down into the note tunnel. Grab all your notes. Be sure not to miss them. And with your remaining breath, you're going to come out of the tunnel, force yourself over here to the honeycomb, and just grab it from underneath. And then just stay in the tunnel, let yourself drown, and this will death warp you back to the beginning of Clankers. And then I just jump to get out.